Hello and welcome to Cherry Street Chat, the official podcast of the Seattle Spectator. My name is Caleb Stipkovits and I'm your host and the managing editor. And today I am here with two lovely guests. We are talking to Tahina, Tomaszek, and Raymond Carr from the SU Filmmakers Club. And they are here to talk about SUFF, which stands for the Seattle University Film Festival, which is coming up on May 30th, so right around the corner. So thank you both for coming to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you. How are you guys doing today?
Pretty good. It's a beautiful Friday.
It is a beautiful Friday, yeah. Sorry you guys had to be stuck indoors doing the podcast today. I know it's really nice out, so.
It's okay. We're honored to be here.
Wonderful. That's what we like to hear at our podcast. We like hearing that at Cherry Street Chat. So, well, thanks so much for coming in. I guess let's get into the interview. So can you both tell me a little bit about yourselves?
Hi, everyone. I am Tahina Tomaszek, and I am president of SU Filmmakers Club here on campus. I have been a film and media studies major all 4 years of college, and it has been the absolute dream, and I love it. What about you?
Yeah, I am a fourth year as well, film major. I switched into the film major sophomore year, and I'm a studio art minor, so I like to do a lot of film and art combo stuff. And I'm the social media and marketing manager.
Awesome. Yeah, and I know that you both mentioned your film background, so how long have you both been into filmmaking, and what are some of your favorite works?
I started doing, not necessarily filmmaking, but I did a lot of media production and broadcast work in high school.
Oh, okay.
And I did that for about 3 years, and I fell in love with it. And then I think as I was reaching, like, the end of my high school career, I realized, like, oh, I could probably make a career out of this. Maybe I should continue this into college and get my degree in filmmaking. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I grew up more as a fine artist, and when I got to high school, I did a little bit of, like, audio stuff, and I thought I would go into radio or broadcasting or something like that. And so I came into college just, like, undeclared, and was interested in, getting involved in radio or maybe testing out journalism and that kind of stuff, but I kind of quickly fell into, like, the film stuff too, because it combined the visual aspect with, like, the audio stuff that I liked. So I didn't have a lot of experience making actual, like, videos or films or anything until college.
Okay. Yeah, super cool. Yeah, it's cool, like, learning that both of you kind of had, like, maybe, like, a journalism background sort of, or were kind of, like, interested in that work. Did you work at, like, a station when you were in high school, or?
My high school, we actually had a studio, like, underground. It was pretty cool.
Oh, seriously?
And so I got to do I was a student news anchor for a little bit.
Oh, okay. So, like, what we do.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's why I love what you guys do. And I also kind of worked managing the whole space and everything, and just camera operating, pretty much all the roles. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like in this kind of industry or any work that you do media-wise, it's like you kind of have to learn all the roles.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah. You got to do everything because, especially, like, when you're starting out, you're going to be really, like, pushed to do everything. So, so that's really cool to, like, learn about both of your backgrounds. How long have you both been a part of SU Filmmakers Club, and why did you join?
Yeah, after I joined the film, like, department sophomore year, I went to a few meetings and, like, the major events probably. And I remember at the end of sophomore year going to SUFF and seeing the way that everyone was, like, celebrated and, like, all these officers on stage, and I was like, wait, I need to, like, get involved in this. I always was, like, club leader, or, like, anything I was a part of, I liked, like, being part of leadership. So I remember after the end of SUFF my sophomore year, I was like, I'm gonna get involved. And I was talking to one of the officers, like, one of the last days of school, and she was like, we need, like, film club officers for next year. And so I was like, okay, fine. I'm just not, like, president or anything crazy, but I can do, like, social media. And then then my junior and senior year I've been doing social media, and I really like it.
Yeah, I feel like you have had more experience in film club than me. I would say my freshman to junior year, I was able to go a couple times to a couple meetings and whatnot, and that's where I was able to kind of connect and make friends. But it wasn't until the end of last year that one of my friends that was on the board previously, she approached me and she was like, "Do you want to be president?" And I said, "What?" And at first I was really hesitant to kind of take on the role. I felt like I was really underqualified, but I've been really involved with the film department in general. I was their PA all of last year and part of this year. So.
Okay. Yeah. Super cool. And obviously with SUFF coming just right around the corner, what can we expect from the festival this year? Like, what are you guys looking forward to?
Oh, good question.
That's a good question. It always is just fun to see like my friends and people I know on the big screen and like see my own work up there if I submit something, and it feels like very professional and real, and you're like, wait, I'm actually like a real filmmaker. Almost the same experience I had the first time my art was like in a gallery. I was like, wait, I'm like kind of an artist, it's that it feels like very cementing and real, and so I love doing that and seeing other people experience that and just seeing the things that people made, because sometimes they submit stuff that wasn't from class, or there's a lot of people that submit that aren't film majors, and so we just haven't seen their stuff at all, and it's really cool.
Yeah. I think what I love about SUFF, kind of same thing of like being able to see people's amazing work, and also I think just the energy of SUFF in general, how supportive people are and everything, especially in the audience, of like people show up for these filmmakers just in general, no matter your background, no matter your major, and I just really, really love kind of being surprised in a way of truly how dedicated people are, even if it is something fun or something that they spent months working on, kind of thing. So
Yeah, absolutely. Have you both like submitted work to SUFF before, or?
Oh, I will say I like to call myself a nervous filmmaker, where I don't sometimes love to show my work. I get really nervous, but I think that's a problem that I really overcame within the last year.
Yeah.
And this will be my first year that I'm like officially submitting to SUFF, like my own work. So I'm really excited for that. But what about you?
But you've been in SUFF featured films
I have.
before. You've been part of it. I went my sophomore year. Actually, I submitted something my sophomore year. That was my first, and it was just something super short, stop motion animation that I made in one of my first film classes. And then after, I just was like, oh my god, it's so cool to like see your stuff up there. So I submitted last year like the Film 3. We have like film series of classes. The end of Film 3, you make your own like project, and so I've submitted my Film 3 project last year, and
I love that film. Sorry.
which was the animation. My first time doing like digital animation.
Oh, super cool.
And we have like categories. People win prizes. I got second place, which was very like fun.
Let's go. Okay.
And inspiring. And so I'm hoping to be able to submit something. I won't be able to submit my capstone film because I'm still in progress, and we have a different like department screening for those. But I'm cooking up something else for SUFF maybe.
Okay. Hey,
Very
to be seen. Still stay tuned. That's super cool. When I was little, this is like bringing back memories, like talking about like filmmaking. I actually used to like make like stuff. I don't know why, like the pipeline between like film and like journalism, I feel like there certainly is, because like it's definitely like for one way or the other, but like I used to make like Lego stop motion videos and stuff like that, which is so funny. And I watched one of them like the other day, or not the other day, like the other month, because I like turned on a camera I used to have that I hadn't, and I was like, this is kind of heat, like this isn't even that bad. Like I was like 10 making this, like dang, maybe I should have pursued. But filmmaking is so fun. Like hearing about what y'all like to do, and like kind of like coming out of your shell a little bit maybe, and like you know, being experienced with submitting to stuff. Like that's super cool.
It is.
So,
It is really fun.
yeah. Cool. Well, I know that we're a little bit outside of the festival. We still have some time to plan, but what has the planning process been like for you both?
Oh, I actually do. I'll let you talk about that first. Okay. I do want to give you a lot of credit, that's why, because you are such an amazing marketer. So I think talking about that process would be good.
Thanks. Yeah, I was the only officer that was a returning officer from last year. The rest of them graduated. So I was, carrying on some of that. And last year we kind of got stunted a little bit. We were initially like, because it has always been a club production, and last year we were going to maybe partner with one of the like official organizations on campus, and that took a lot. Every single thing I wanted to do for marketing had to go all the way up the chain and get approved, and then they'd send it back, be like, actually you have to use this logo instead of that logo. So we got, and then at the last second they were like, no, we're not partnering with you, it's a club production. And that was in April, and so we had to really like move. And this year, knowing that it was our thing, we started planning very early, like January, basically started making lists of the things that needed to get done, and I made like the new logo, and started working on flyer in like February, March. So we've been able to do that. So I kind of prepped all the marketing materials in advance as much as I could, and then we just finalized the details like a month ago, and just started like, there's not much you can do until you lead up, but we just kind of had to listen a timeline of like, all right, we're getting ready, and the flyers went out, sandwich boards went out, and now it's just trying to get people to submit.
Exactly.
And from after the submission date, it'll turn into prepping prizes, certificates, awards, and the program, and all that fun stuff.
Yep. I've been in charge of, I completely trust Raymond, which is why I'm like, marketing for this has been so fun. It's been so amazing. I've been working a lot on social media work. So I've been posting a lot of reels, putting myself out there to kind of speak about stuff and everything.
Yeah.
And then I would say maybe more behind the scenes, we've been working a lot, kind of like you were mentioning about prizes for students that submit and everything, because we want them to feel appreciated, you know?
Yeah.
And we've also been working a lot to figure out categories. I think we're going to try and expand our categories, because usually we have best film overall, and then second, third, and then audience choice, which I love audience choice. It's always so exciting. But we'll also have, hopefully, best cinematography. I think in years past, which I kind of want to bring back, it was like funniest film.
Yeah, like best comedy.
Yeah.
We kind of did categories: best comedy, best animation, best documentary.
I would love to bring like best acting, or even
we haven't done that before, like acting awards. That would be fun.
Yeah. Sounds super cool. Yeah, I think like so many awards, like I think best cinematography would be like so fun to win, like as somebody like making something, because it's like you're like, like I feel like that's like, that sounds really cool. And I know we've been talking a lot about awards and prizes for this whole time. Can you give us any intel on what some of those prizes may be, or like what can you win?
Well, everyone who submits will receive, like the primary submitter will get a t-shirt with the SUFF logo on it, or not a t-shirt, sorry.
You good?
A tote bag.
Okay.
Yeah, tote bags we felt like were more versatile, and you don't have to worry about sizes, and just people probably won't donate them. Like t-shirts can, I don't know, I didn't want that to be a waste. So we're doing tote bags that are really nice.
Which I love. I love a good tote bag.
Yeah. And then what are we doing? We're still finalizing the details on some of the prizes, but we could plug the first place prize maybe.
Yes. First place is going to win a Rode Mini mic kit, which if students come to visit the MPC pretty often, we have Rode mic kits, and they're so popular.
Yeah.
I feel bad sometimes that people will come and be like, do you guys have kits? And we're like, nope.
Nope.
Check it out. So if somebody submits and they win first place, then they get their own kit, which I think is
Yeah.
pretty awesome. For second place, we have...
Our producer just showed his rented Rode
Ah!
mics. For I also have my own. Like they're so popular. I literally got some for myself because I was like, I can't keep renting them.
Very smart.
So,
No, I might have to do that as like a little
Yeah.
grad gift to myself.
yeah, for sure.
But
Yeah, sorry to cut you off.
No,
but
no.
What's second place?
Second place is a DJI phone gimbal, which have you been able to use a DJI phone gimbal?
No, I don't. I think I've been with someone who was using them before. Basically,
crazy.
yeah, the gimbal's what keeps the phone stable when you're like moving around, so you can just hold it.
He's got one too. He's got everything in there.
Got all the gadgets.
That's
yeah,
so funny.
so it holds their like phone stable while you're moving, which is super nice to have like clear, not shaky videos. And using your phone, I mean, I've been a big advocate for filming on my phone because nowadays the cameras are so nice, especially I've had like Pro Max iPhones or whatever that have the 3 cameras and all the things you can adjust, even like the f-stop, like how much is in focus and the depth. So I filmed all of my own like individual films I've filmed on my phone, unless they were digital. But yeah, the prizes will kind of like ramp up from like everyone getting a tote bag,
Okay.
and then some of the like other categories, like everyone will get like a physical award, and then they kind of ramp up. We've contacted some outside sponsors, been in contact with like AMC, Northwest Film Forum, even reached out to SUFF with the Seattle International Film Festival, and just seen what kind of strings we can pull, what can we make happen for the winners.
I'm really excited for our we're trying to do like customed awards, so I'm really excited to see how those turn out too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, sounds really exciting. I mean, those are great prizes. Like, I like how everybody can even just get the tote bag, and there's a physical reward, and like, everything is useful for filmmaking in the future. So super cool prizes. I want to also ask you both, like, obviously you're both graduating this year, so congratulations. But what is, like, reflecting upon your time in the SU Filmmakers Club, like, what are some of your biggest takeaways, or like what has like that community meant to you?
I would say for me, I think especially when it comes to film, I mean, a large part of film is entertainment, but also kind of stepping away from that. I think it's about being appreciative of yourself as an artist. I have been so grateful for the community here in Seattle, especially the film community, and everybody that I've gotten to take classes with and the friends that I've made. I think just the support that I've felt has been so amazing, and I think it's something that I will definitely miss. I will say I got to submit and attend NIFTY, which is the National Film Festival for Talented Youth here in Seattle, and I think just the amount of people that showed up to my own film's premiere was like very emotional.
Yeah.
So I think my takeaway is definitely like make those connections, make those friends. And I think it's also great because then you get to work with those people and make some really, really cool and amazing films together. Yeah, so just connect, make a community.
Yeah. Selfishly, I think after I went to that stuff at the end of sophomore year, I was like, I'm at the end of my first year and I like don't have much to show for it, and like I don't have like, it was also the end of the year like department screening event too, where all the seniors were getting flowers and they were like best friends with all the professors, and I was like, I don't have that relationship yet, like I need to get more involved in this because I wanted film to be a big part of my experience. So joining the club definitely helped out. All of a sudden you're hanging, not only do lots of us have classes together because it's a small major, but then you're seeing those people outside of school, and then after the meeting you're going and hanging out with them at their apartment, or you're going out for people's birthdays, and so it was definitely a community that made me feel a lot more like connected to just people in film, and now I can be like, I did something. I was, did something even more, and I am closer to the professors, and and stuff. And I think that's ultimately really important because film is a group project, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I really didn't. If you hate group projects, film is not a great thing for you
Not
unless
for you.
you do like individual animations, which it takes forever. It takes forever. But it's you can't. We all help each other, and like I think it's a lot of those long hours like spent in the editing room until 2 a.m. or going on these long shoots where at the end of the day you're like starving and exhausted, but like you're going through it together.
Exactly.
So it bonds you.
Yeah,
For sure.
100%.
Yeah, I love both of those answers. I think like, I'm happy to like hear about like the community that's been built and like all that. So, well, my last question for our interviews portion is just can you tell our viewers and listeners any logistical details that people who want to go to SUFF need to know?
Yeah. SUFF is going to be on May 30th, 7 to 9 p.m. in Pigott Auditorium. Bring your friends, bring your family, bring random people that you meet on the street. We don't care. We just want people to come and kind of support these student filmmakers, and
Yeah, it's free to attend, as we get just pack the Pigott Auditorium. And if there is, when is this episode going out, or when do you think this will be?
It's gonna come out, I think the week of, right? Probably a few days before, producer. Okay. Yeah, so you'll be getting this information right around the corner. So you will literally like be like, oh, I have a plan that I can go on May 30th. So
you won't forget about it.
You won't forget about it because it's going to be happening a few days after this comes out. So yeah, so you better be there. Awesome. Well, thanks for giving us those details. It's now time for our segment of the day. So I am not a letterbox person. Like I haven't used it before. Don't judge. I'm not a big movie watcher. Oh, okay. I'm glad I'm not alone. But there's this thing that they do that's like 4 favorites where you choose your like 4 favorite films. And I think that they've also like asked like celebrities and like people who work in film. So like producers, maybe even like behind the scenes people on like what their 4 favorite films are. So what are your 4 favorite films?
Oh my gosh.
If you have 4, because I don't know if I do.
I appreciate the 4 because sometimes people ask me my top 3 and then it's like
and there's one left
really choosing of my children. So 4 is being a little bit nicer.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I think I have mine. I think mine are Call Me by Your Name, Forrest Gump, The Outsiders, and Holding the Man.
Oh.
Those are so good.
You were prepared.
I know.
People always ask you what your favorite movies are when you tell them you're a film major?
I think I usually panic and I'm like, I can't decide. And I feel like that's where I am right now. I will say though, I always, when I do get asked, I'll always be like, I can tell you my favorite. My favorite is Rogue One: A Star Wars Story.
That was actually... I'm not a Star Wars person. That movie made me cry, dude. That was actually a great movie. Yeah.
I love that movie with all my heart till this day. I think I watched it at an age that it was like so detrimental to me. Like it had such an impact.
Yeah.
And I'm also just a huge Star Wars fan in general. Yeah. So that will always be my number 1 till this day.
Yeah.
I think I'm trying to think of another one. Oh, I love The Devil Wears Prada. I think that's also in my top 4. I also... controversial. I don't like Tarantino.
How did I know that's what you're going to say? When you said controversial, that's the first thing that came to my head.
I don't like Tarantino. However, I love Kill Bill Volume 1. So I think it's a fun action movie. And then I think my last one... trying to like think back to the archives of my childhood.
Yeah.
Whenever people ask me that, I'm like, I just forget every movie I've ever seen.
I know.
Or especially in the beginning, I had to make a list in my notes app in case I forget.
That's smart. No, that's very, very smart. I think I cannot decide. I know it's an animated movie. I'm going to say either The Prince of Egypt, because I love that movie so much, and the soundtrack I think is absolutely beautiful.
Fire.
But I also really, really love Disney's The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I like the variety we're getting. Like y'all both have valid lists. Like, yeah, I'm loving that. I'm trying to think. So I know. Okay,
Oh yeah,
I'm
we
going.
have to ask you.
I'm going based off. Yeah, we have to embarrass me for like not knowing anything about movies. I am like notoriously somebody who doesn't watch movies or TV shows. Like I don't consume a lot of like, and I don't know why. I don't know why, but
That's
here's what my tops are. I think Parasite has to be in my top 4 because when I watched that movie, I was like, I watched it in theaters with my mom, and like we were both like, whoa. Like that was one of the only movies I watched that kind of like blew my mind like that. I don't know. So I'm gonna put that there. I really want to. I don't know. I want to put like an Ang Lee movie in there, and I'm gonna go probably like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I don't know if y'all have seen that one. It's kind of like I really like martial arts movies, so like I'm also like trying not to put like a Bruce Lee movie in there because I probably would. But that movie was just like it was beautiful. It was, yeah, it was. It's a good movie. You should check it out if you haven't. I also this is an animated movie. It's actually a Japanese anime movie. It's called Your Name. I don't know if you all
Wait,
have...
I have heard of that.
Yeah. That genuinely might be the first movie I've seen that blew my mind. I also saw that in theaters when I was like 12, and I was just like, because yeah, it was a good movie. It was, and the soundtrack is so good. I think that's the other thing about it. It was like
I need to add
the
that
music
to
is so
my
good. Yeah. Let's see, is that 3? What else do I like? I don't know. I'm trying to think. Maybe I'll pick like a kids movie or something.
Pick something fun.
Yeah, pick something fun. This is the first movie I ever watched is Cars. I think that's probably, that low-key might be one of my favorite movies still. It's surprising to me after watching it again how good that movie was. Like how they cooked. They cooked making that movie, I swear.
They really did.
Yeah, that's my really random top 4, and as you can see, like half of them are not that serious.
No, I think it's great. Have you guys seen those memes where it's like they'll ask, I think similar, it's like the asking for your top 4 and everything, and I've seen people make like memes and videos of asking a big time Hollywood director what their favorites are versus like this kind of up and coming underground director.
Oh yeah.
And the up and coming director will say like movies that are just so like
Obscure.
so niche, yeah.
Mhm.
And then they'll ask Hollywood directors and they'll say stuff like that, like,
Yeah.
oh yeah,
I'm like,
Cars.
I love the B movie. Oh,
Yeah.
that's so cursed. That's so cursed.
Wait, yeah, put
But
that
yeah.
up there. Put that up there.
We're gonna clip that, and that's what's going on for our reel. Yeah, no, that's really funny. I always think it's funny when people are like really like I can tell when people are trying to be cool with the movies that they're selecting for like what are their favorites, because like I can't do that because I'm not knowledgeable enough to do that. But yeah, but I like both of you guys have both valid lists. Like I'm like,
You had a good list too.
thank you. So, all right, well, that's gonna wrap it up for our episode today. It's already over, which is like crazy. That went really fast. It was a lot of fun. Thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it. If you're a viewer or listener at home, make sure that you are following us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube if you want more content like this. And before we sign off, we always say, see you next time on Cherry Street. So I'm gonna count us down from 3. We're all gonna say it.
Okay.
Are you guys ready?
Sounds
Okay.
good.
3, 2, 1. See you
See
next time on Cherry Street.